sautéed sweet potato, which will be a side dish actually. So for the sweet potato, the sautéed sweet potato, we are going to need just very basic ingredients, and that's going to be the sweet potato. Well, here we call it, where I'm from, Jamaicans, we call it sweet potato. Here in Canada, or I don't know if the western part of the world, they call it yam, Y-A-M. Our yam, in say, I think in Africa, for instance, and the Caribbean, they are different. If you've seen any of our other videos, we made the yam balls with them, right? So that's our yam. So we do not refer to this as yams, but like if you go to stores in Toronto, they refer to as yam, right? Anyway, that's yam. So I have here about 4 medium size, they're pretty large. Well, they're about medium sized sweet potato, and I peeled them, washed them, and cut them into big halves. Because what I'm going to do with them after they're cooked and cool is I'm going to dice them, and then we're going to use them to saute. We also will need some diced or chopped green bell peppers and some chopped sweet red bell peppers. And we're going to need some brown sugar. This is about a tablespoon. What's that doing there? Okay, put something else. Okay, so that's what we're going to need for this particular recipe. Okay, I'd want to put in some red onions, but I am totally out of red onions. So I think I'm going to cut up some white onions instead. The red onions would be so nice with this. Okay, so I went and chopped up some onions using the white onions. I really would have liked to have used the red onions, but I went to the store and I actually forgot it. Anyway, that's okay. You know, it's all right. We'll need some salt and pepper. Now, mind you, this is a cool side dish. It's not supposed to be spicy. Okay, but I mean, if you wanted to add some spice to it, you could. Everybody has their own taste, but I prefer it to be a cool side dish. It's a sweetish side dish. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do now is our next step with our potatoes is to put them into the pot of boiling water, and we've added salt already. So all we have to do now is to add our sweet potatoes into the pot. We have a lot of things going on right now on the stove. Okay, so I'm just going to add them in. And like I said, salt is already in it, so we're going to boil these until they are soft. Okay, put them all in. And I will cover my pot. What happens to the pot cover? And I'm going to cover the pot. I always leave a little opening right there for the steam to come out. Yeah. All right. We'll come back. Your potatoes, if you can, leave it to cool. And if you can, and if you're able, put it in the fridge to cool. Okay? Okay, so it's cooled down, and so that'll make it a little bit easier to work with, to cut up. Okay, so we're going to take it and we are going to cut it all up. Right over to the chop block. We are going to make our sauteed sweet potatoes. Add some oil to the pot. You can also use the gravy from your meat. I usually do that, but I did not do it today. Okay, so but try and use the gravy from your meat. Okay, so the oil, the pot is hot. Okay, so we're going to add in our sweet green peppers and red peppers. And we're going to saute it up. under low heat. And we're going to add in our onions, which like I said earlier, I had preferred to use a red onion, but didn't have it. Get it a little soft. Wait till the aroma starts to escape, and I think that's when you know it's cooked or cooking. I love the colors, the red, and it seems to be turning orange now, doesn't it, Jim? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it turned orange. The heat turned it orange. Okay, so cut for a minute, Jim. Cut for a minute. Okay. So at this point, we're going to put in our brown sugar, and then we just immediately throw in the sweet potato. And we're just gonna stir it up. And what you can do is you can actually mash it up if you wanted to. You can mash it up, but you don't have to. And you can add a little oil to give it that glistening look. Sometimes I mash it up, but this time around I figure, why not? Just leave it in cubes or whatever, and leave it in cubes. And I'm just going to add a little bit of oil. You can add olive oil, or you can just add some veggie oil, whatever oil you have. And I'm just going to give it just so I can get that glistening look. And at this point, you can also add, if you wanted to, a little bit more sugar. If you taste one and it doesn't taste a little sweetish, you don't need it because the sweet potatoes are already sweet. That's good, really nice. Probably could have done a little bit more of the green peppers, because the green peppers really brings out the flavor. So you can also add a little bit of pepper, but like I said, this is more of a cool recipe. But the thing is, or a cool side dish. And also you could add some pepper, like a chili flake, so that you can because it is sweet, you can cut a little bit down on the sweetness. So I think I will add a little bit of chili pepper. What do you think, Jim? Add a little bit of chili pepper?
Why not?
I think I'll add it. Well, I should add it afterwards. Yeah, and it gives it a nice garnish too. All right, so you can garnish it with chili pepper. Chili pepper is very nice to garnish. Just to let you know. Okay. And what you can do is just cover it up. Take it off the stove. Cover it up and give it its moment to chill. Okay, off the stove. Okay, so here I'm just preparing to peel up some yams, and I want to explain to you the differences between the yam found in the Caribbean and Africa and the ones that we use here in this part of the world, Canada. So this here is a white yam, or a Negro yam, spelled Negro, right? If you look at it, it has a very rough texture. It looks like the bark of a tree. Well, the outer skin looks like the bark of a tree, literally. But when you cut it, it is very easy to peel, very easy to cut. And you see that the crusty area here, it usually happens like this when you cut it and you don't put a certain solution on it, it does get crusty. But if you peel it, it's very easy to peel, right? And you can see that the skin, the outer skin, looks like that of a tree bark. Okay. Earlier, I put oil on my hands to prevent the starch that does deposit onto your hands. I put it on and pour it on and rub it so that the start just not get sticky on my hands and start to itch because it does have a itchy reaction. So you can get any of these yams in any specialty markets like a West Indian store, and sometimes you can also find them in your local grocers. This is the same yam, or it is comparable to that of the yellow yam, which by its name you can tell that it is going to be yellow. The only difference between the two of them is obviously that the flesh is going to be yellow. So like I said, this is a white yam and then there's a yellow yam. Okay. This is a sweet potato. Its skin is a lot smoother. It does come in this color like orange, and sometimes the skin is white or the outer skin is white. Now, there's different varieties, right? But this is sweet potato. I think it's probably the grocers that get it mixed up, but it's a sweet potato. But anyway, when you cut it open, it's harder to cut actually than the yam, really. And you can see inside the area around it is white, and then the inner flesh is like an orangey color, right? It's more watery than that of the yams, and it's quicker to cook. They do have another variety of sweet potato that is very hard, but you can see that they are different, right? The skin is smooth, right? You can, inside is a lot different. I can see why they probably call it yam, but it's a sweet potato. Okay, sweet potato. So that you don't get mixed up. Someone says, "Oh, buy some yams," and you're going to buy sweet potato when you really should be getting yam, right? Okay.
And there you have it, folks, another cooking video. We're so glad you tuned in. Thank you so much for watching. As we mentioned in this video, this dish can be used as a side dish for your regular meals, but you could also consider using it as a side dish or a main dish for holidays. Seeing as how we use beautiful colors of the sweet bell peppers, it might be a nice touch for you to include in your Christmas dish lineup. Whatever way you decide to try it, please let us know what you thought of the recipe. Would you tweak it anyway? Have you eaten something like this before? Let us know. If you made it this far into the video, please consider leaving a like and a comment, and maybe become a subscriber. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.